Hello, welcome to Painting with Jasmine Rempel Art. I'm Jasmine and today I want to create some spring themed watercolor cards. And I was at my mom's today having a visit and I was doodling with watercolor and I started playing with a few tulip themed ideas. And from these fun tulip themed ideas, I created already a spring and a rejoice watercolor art card. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So grab some paints and come along. What I have is a Strathmore watercolor art card. These I order actually in sets of 100 or 50 from Amazon, and they're 5x7 140-pound cold press, and they're wonderful because they people really appreciate getting them, and they come with envelopes. I work with them all the time. I have some water here. I've got a palette ready to add paint to. I have some paper towel. My art card is on a little board and I have white painter's tape sticking it down onto this board. I don't really need the board today or the tape because I'm not painting a background. However, it is nice when you're painting a card if the card is laying flat. So the tape is helping with that. I have some specialized brushes that I'm going to be using today. This one is actually called Petals. It's from Princeton Velvet Touch, and it's a Petals number 8. I'm going to be using it primarily to create stems and leaves, even though it's called Petals. It has this amazing angular quality to it with a very fine tip. I also have here, this is a 3/8 inch angular shader by Princeton Velvet Touch, and I'm going to be using this to create the petals. Here I have a rigger brush. It's a number 1 liner or rigger brush. It's from Windsor Newton. And for some splattering, I have a number 6 round brush. This one happens to be a silver black velvet brand. Okay, so I think I've shared the supplies for paints. I'm going to be grabbing from my palette here, and what I'm going to be using is Opera Rose, and I'm also going to use French Ultramarine. Those will be my primary colors. For the leaves and stems, I will likely use some permanent Sap Green and add some of that French Ultramarine to it. I also like to use a little yellow, so I will use a Windsor Yellow as well. Okay, all of those are Winsor Newton professional level paints. I like to use them. You don't have to use professional level. This is a beginner's watercolor tutorial, and Cotman's, Winsor Newton Cotman's is a student level. That will work just fine. Any watercolors will do. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to reach into some Opera Rose here and add it into one of these wells. And this will be the color that I'll start with. I'm also going to reach into the French Ultramarine, and I will put it in the well right beside, and this way I'm going to get some lovely pinks, blues, and a nice violet. These will be the main colors of the tulips. Okay, here we go. So I'm starting with the first tulip in a curved C shape is what I'll do, and the other part of the petal will come along in a curved C shape beside it. I'm creating these at about the top third of my page. And I'm going to try to not be too fussy about the outcome and just let the shapes and the colors happen. There's my first tulip. Now I'm going to mix some of this opera rose with a bit of this blue to create my first violet, and I'll make a tulip in that color. There's lots of water on the brush, so I'm heading straight into the two colors and making a little bit of a thicker pigment. Tap in a bit of blue in there. Nice. Bit of a C shape. And then I'll have another kind of a triangle-ish point in the middle. And there we go. I already have, with two colors, I already have 3 very different colored tulips. Try to turn this one a little bit to the side. Okay, I think I'm going to reach for my petals brush, and I'm heading into my permanent Sap Green. And I'll just start with the color straight from the tube, and I'm basically going to pull down on this lovely fine point. I'm not wanting to go all the way to the bottom of the page, just part way. I'd like to vary up the colors of the green, so I've just added some ultramarine. Back into the original. Okay. Clean off my brush. I'll carry on with my tulips. A little C curve and another one the opposite way. Pretty. Mixing another purple. Just pulling down on the brush and turning it slightly. Bring that purple over here. Pulling down on the brush, turning it slightly, and adding an extra point at the center. Take some of that blue and tap it into the base. Vary up the color a little, add some variation, some interest. Fun. They are certainly not your typical tulips, and I love that about them. That one's hardly open at all. Spring has come. The tulips are growing. Spring is my absolute favorite time of year. I just get so excited when I see signs of spring. Today on a walk, I saw some pussy willows. Oh boy, was I ever happy to see those. I might as well have sang a welcome pussy willow song. Ooh, what a beautiful, beautiful turquoise green. I just have lots of blue in that sap green. Created a very lovely dark. I'm going to reach into some yellow now and add that into this green and lighten it up. Okay, so some of them look like little colored forks on sticks. I just love that. It's very kind of a naive type of painting, very childlike, fresh and springy. It's time to add some leaves. Here's that sap green again. I want also some of that yellow available. That was a Windsor Yellow right here. Okay, off into that green, pick up a bit of yellow, and let's see what happens here. This is really cool the way this works. I'm going to zoom in for you for this. And maybe I will start on this center one. So this brush, all I'm basically going to do is touch it down straight on, press, pull down, and lift. That's all that's needed for these beautiful tulip leaves. Love it. I'll do that again. Press, push, lift, and fill in the rest with this tip. Let's get some darker leaves. I think I might actually just do a couple of touches of this dark on the base here. Okay, darker leaves here. Press, push, lift, and fill in. Easy as that. Wow, what a cool brush. Press and lift. Back into my light. You can't, I'm going to zoom out again so you can see. Press, curve it in, lift. Let's get some more of that blue. That's a very dark color. It'll match the stem a little better. There we go. And back into that lovely yellow. No rhyme or reason for my mixing. I'm simply literally going with the flow. And that's just fun and experimental, and you really can't go wrong with this. Shapes, warm spring colors. I'm getting close to being done. Once I'm done, I'm going to splatter. I think I'll leave that one without a leaf. I kind of like that. I'm going to splatter it, and then I'm going to add a word to the base. That looks fun. It looks good. Okay. Now, I have here my round brush, I'm going to get some Opera Rose, nice and wet, diluted on my brush. And I'm just going to kind of cover the top of the tulips. And I'm just going to tap on the brush and some color. I'll zoom in for you to see that again. Not that far. And I'll move this to the side. There we go. I'm just tapping down and color is being released. Okay, now I'm going to head into just make it a little more of a purple. And some of that, more of that blue color. It looks like a celebration. Okay, now for the word. I've done one that says spring, one that says rejoice. Let's see, how about I just simply do spring, rejoice, light, joy. I'm going to just do joy. So, getting some purple. Here we go. Joy. Easter is coming. Spring is coming. And there's always just a joyful feeling about that. And so I want this card to reflect that, their joy. I think I'll do a little extra line work with some of that pink, maybe Opera Rose towards the ends, touching it in. Okay. Oops, careful now. Okay, I'm going to sign this. I'm going to sign it with a green, just in the corner. JR. Super. Let's lift off the tape and see what we have. Joyful, joyful, dun, 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 dun. That is the song going through my mind while I'm making this. Da, 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 da. Hearts unfold like flowers before you. Joyful, joyful. Okay, enough trying to sing for you. This is not a music video. Okay, there we have it. A beautiful spring card for somebody. Maybe an Easter blessing to give. Here's another one, another idea, rejoice. And this one says spring. For this one, I actually did the tulips with this petal brush. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you make your own joyful spring cards. If you do, share it with me. I'd love it if you would give my channel a like, or sorry, this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and write a message. All the best. Happy creating. Bye for now.